Hey, you guys. So my name is Candice, and welcome to Co-Create with Candice. This is a space where I'll be taking you on a journey, just introducing you to the different tools, the systems, the people, and the perspectives that just have really helped open my eyes over the years and just allow me to move through life with a lot more clarity and confidence. And the goal is simple, just to help you see yourself more clearly so you can attract better relationships, partnerships, businesses. The world is a crazy place right now, and I really do think it's just misalignment. You know, people really don't know who they are, who they're designed to be. So I really do feel like and truly believe that once we really know who we are, we start to live in true alignment. And just like a puzzle, if each of us plays the part we're designed to play in God's grand plan, everything does begin to flow with more ease, clarity, and purpose. So let me tell you about this video. Now, this conversation was recorded on my 43rd birthday, April 18th, 2025. It was Good Friday. It was a busy day for me. Right now, I currently work as a certified debt specialist. It's a lot of communication with different energies all day, every day. And long story short, I just knew that I needed to start showing up and start creating some of the things that I really have been carrying for a long time. I've been able to process a lot of information, get to know myself on a very deep level, and just see the world through a lens that I really want to share with you all. So I invited a few amazing people to join me in conversation. I've met these people at different points of my journey, but I'm telling you, I have vetted them for their accuracy. I am someone who lives in truth and integrity. If you know me, you know, and a lot of you don't, but the 4 agreements are written on my heart. So if you know, you know. If not, we'll be talking about that soon. But essentially, this is a conversation. You'll get to know a little bit about what you can expect here, get to know some of the experts. I'll tag everyone here in the description below. And I'll leave a link to how you can connect with me and all the things. Enjoy the conversation. You guys start seeing my content, you guys will probably naturally feel like, oh, she's dope. You know what I mean? Mommy life, different things. But then also Kelsey and I are like a mutual Venus. So we have a natural friendship energy that flows between us. So that's kind of why it's just been easy. We met online years ago, never in person. I've never met Kelsey in person. Zitty lives in Greensboro, where I live right now. But I'm so busy. She's mom life. She's transitioning all over the place. I haven't really seen her much. But Zitty's also someone who I can see how we kind of just naturally connected and meshed because of the energy that we have between us. So I wish that my other 3 Cardology people were on here, while I was touching on this, but they will pop on. And I don't know, Zitty, if you want to go deal with, right now while we're waiting for them to jump on, you can.
So right now we've got Tangled on and she's watching it. So I'm going to write it out. Because as the closer we get to bedtime, that's when it'll kind of start getting unhinged. So I wish I could get her settled. This is as good as it's going to get right now.
And I'm the same. I might have to, girl, it's Good Friday on your birthday. So we are going to be headed to a crawfish bowl later. So my family might roll up on me. I told them to give me as long as they could. But at some point they'll roll up on me and be like, hey, we want to go get crawfish. So.
And you know what though, y'all? I really I planned this during Mercury retrograde. And when my astrology people get on here, they'll be like, they get it. But then also just the energy of the 3 of diamonds. It's very creative. It's very playful. It's Good Friday. It's 420 weekend. It's all these things. Yes. So I was just if anything, just even you 2 meeting right here, just even briefly, Sensei jumps on. Sensei, it'll just work out. We'll connect.
It will. Because I've done a lot of, so we had this thing one time where it was 30 days of IG Live and there was a group of us and it was so magical. You couldn't even make it up. It's different people would pop on and off at different times. You know what I mean? You might be talking about one thing and all of a sudden it's somebody pops up like magic, and then it's another group of people will pop off and when it's all said and done, it's all going to make sense.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and Candice, so what I was going to say is it already has made sense. One of the things that I've learned is it's always about quality over quantity. And when we make this decision to be present, whoever's here is exactly who's supposed to be here, and it's already worked out. So for me, I'm super curious about you, Kelsey, because I can't read what your title is.
Uh,
What does it say on there? It's coming up
yeah,
on my phone. It's just
yeah. So my business name is Golden Soul Alchemy.
okay. And describe your work to me like I'm a kindergartner.
Ooh, fun. So it's been hard for me to describe my business because it takes a lot of different shapes and it grows and evolves with me. As Candice knows, we've done multiple different things, and actually I have to key her on into some new fun things that we're going to be doing soon. She doesn't know about. So it's taken different shapes and different forms. It started out, Candice, all your people are spiritual and they're into all the things.
They're cool.
I can speak freely. Okay.
Yeah, you're in a safe space. I literally, I'm from Southern Africa, and I come from a family of sangomas. So, different cultures call them different things.
Uh-huh.
Prophetesses, seers, sangomas. So it's
Okay.
literally in the blood. I'm all the way
Yes, I love
middle
that.
rainbow juju, yeah.
Yes, I can't wait. Yes, now I'm like, I want to hear all the things from you. Yeah, so I do a little bit of everything, and it kind of how I explain it depends on different people's reference points. But I do Akashic Records, so I work a lot with the records. Soul contracts have been coming up a lot lately. That's what people have been coming to me for. Also, a lot of karmic condensing going on. Most recently, I don't know what's going on. I'm not a big astrology person. My brain just doesn't work with numbers and all that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of astrology stuff going on and a lot of karmic condensing recently. So it's been wild in the records as far as the different things people have come to me for. It's just like, whew, wow, did we really just do that? Do we really it's a whole thing. And then most recently, I learned, it's probably been about a little less than a year, but I learned a new technique called holographic memory resolution. Are you familiar with like EMDR? Like the eye movement thing?
Vaguely. So, and I'll share a little bit more about myself later. EMDR is one of those
Yeah.
things that I've done kind of like surface level, but then the things that I've done deep diving in are the numbers. So I know what's
Yes.
going on the planetary level, and then how it relates even to the year 2025 and the connection to the biblical context and the year of Jubilee. There's all of that. It's all
Where is
connected.
Sensei?
Yeah, it's all connected. So yeah,
Okay, so you like numbers. Okay, see, I'm not a numbers person at all. I feel like whatever I am is the opposite of that.
No, but when you learn how it all connects, you'll be so less intimidated by it. I think people are intimidated by numbers because they've been taught about numbers by shitty teachers. Divine
Okay.
law is numeric, it's geometric. And I promise you,
Yes.
the layer over whatever it is that you say. But yeah, tell me.
Yes.
I'm rooting for real this time.
I can't wait to hear all about that because I actually did a session for myself in the records recently. And it ends up being almost like it is a shamanic journey. It is like, used to when I would go into the records, it was very much like to gather information. Now, basically what I'm doing is through the technique and the Akashic Records, it's like a soul journey, like a soul retrieval journey, or like getting all the fragmented pieces and like putting them together. And it takes so many different shapes for different people. It could be something very, very small, like one memory, or it could be, more archetype type stuff. I've seen tons of past life stuff. Like I did one session for myself, and I mean, there was an army of me. It was actually persecution type vibes that I overcame pretty recently, because especially about like online spaces and just being visible. I had worked with so many different layers of that, just the persecution stuff and the visibility stuff, but there still was just such a deep imprint about just showing up as myself and my gifts and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I had a huge like karmic clearing, like almost like a reset button with all of that recently that I did for myself. I also did something like money wise and number wise, and it was so crazy because when I went on this journey, it's like they talked about that. They were like, about making all the numbers okay, and it was so strange because I went into this like tree-like place, and it was like it had all the different numbers, and I realized I had some type of imprint around the number 7 for some reason, and I had no clue about that at all. Like, it was complete news to me, and it was a whole thing. And I was like, oh, and then I came to find out, like, oh, 7, spiritual stuff, and come to find out, like, for several lifetimes, things had happened to me, I guess, around numbers with 7 in them for some reason, and like spiritual type stuff. So I had like been subconsciously and I guess karmically, or whatever you want to call it, like sabotaging myself, just in business and in and just with money in certain areas, just because I had some of these imprints that I had no freaking clue about at all. At all. So yes, girl, it's a whole thing. But this technique, I love it so much because it is like nothing I've ever seen before. So I had like PTSD, anxiety, depression. I used to have panic attacks all the time. So I've been on a healing journey for like 14 years at this point. So I have done a lot, seen a lot, just have been gathering, tools for my little magic bag toolbox, for a very long time. But this technique is like nothing I've ever seen. It's a lot of things will like bring stuff up and bubble stuff up to the surface, but it doesn't always release them. Right. So I love this so much because it cues you into where the imprint is in your body. And it releases it from your mind, your body, and also your energetic field. I literally did a session for someone yesterday, and she talked about, she's like, oh, I kissed my significant other, and we shocked each other. Or, and then, oh yeah, and she texted me this morning, and she's like, I was in my bed and I saw sparks. And I was explaining to her that that's it's the electromagnetic stuff. I don't know all the things, but I do know that it's electromagnetic, and that's being released. It's like the charge is being released. So it's crazy because it's like it has gathered all the different pieces of everything that I have learned, because certain techniques I've learned, it's like, okay, it helps with your mind, and certain things have helped with the body, and certain things have helped with like energy field. But this is so cool because it's like all of it all in one, and it's so gentle, but yet so powerful. So it deals really good with like, traumatic things. I even talked to my mom yesterday, and we have a family member that has adopted or taken in another family member's child, and that child has just seen a lot, and nothing's working for her and her behavior. So she asked, my mom was basically asking me like, what I thought, and I told her this deals with a lot of pre-verbal things. So it deals in like, colors and shapes and like those type of imprints. So it's very gentle, even for children. I've even done it with my daughter, who's almost 6. And, it's just like, as far as like nightmares or different things that come up for her. And it's instant. It's anyways, I went off on like 20 different subjects, but
But no, let me just say real quick, not to interrupt, because I want to hear what Zitty said, but Sensei came in. Can you guys hear me? Am I echoing? I couldn't tell if I was echoing or not. But Sensei, really quick, he jumped in right when you guys were talking about numerology. So I just want to introduce Sensei really quick. Sensei, can you hear me? Are you here, Sensei? I had to get a man on because I love how Sensei goes deep into astrology, the Bible, numerology. You're here.
Yes, I guess I am. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Peace, and love to you both. How you doing? How you beautiful goddesses doing? How y'all doing this evening?
Good. So we just went ahead and got started just because it's like the energy of the day is like a 3. it's Three of Diamonds Day. Sensei knows about cardology, but just all the things. And then Kelsey was we just kind of started talking. Really quick, Sensei, I just want to point out that Kelsey was just talking about a technique that she does. And she was mentioning how there's a lot of transits going on astrologically that she wasn't sure about. Zitty was mentioning that she loves numbers. So Zitty's into numbers and all the things. And I was like, oh, we're a Sensei. So you came at the perfect time. So yeah. I just want to introduce Sensei really quick, and you guys can kind of introduce yourself. And Zitty's dealing with a 2-year-old right now, so she's got it muted, but she's dealing with a 2-year-old. But Kelsey or Sensei, Kelsey, what were you just saying? You were saying something about a lot of karmic collapsing. Astrological things going on.
It lagged for a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, it lagged for a second, but I can hear you clear now.
Can you hear me?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just saying, a lot of people that have come to me for like Akashic Records readings recently and just like sessions, it seems like there's been a lot of like massive karmic condensing. I even, like, for example, in one of my sessions, they showed me like these huge, big, dusty books and like 6 of them. And then they showed me like a tiny little, almost SIM card looking thing. And they said, you are going to be, this was weeks ago, so I forget all the wording, but basically I was going to be condensing all of that down to like a very small amount. So lots of karmic condensing going on. I don't know the astrology and all the stuff behind it, but I would love to know.
It's definitely a 9-year, but Sensei, can you just kind of touch on just some of the energy maybe that you've noticed? We kind of just are flowing with this conversation because there's still a couple other people who are going to jump on, but is there anything specifically? I know for sure there's a 9-year. So 9 is the ending of a karmic cycle. So that's one thing that I'll just say, but I'm not the expert. Co-create with Candice is about co-creating with all of you experts. So Sensei.
Nah, yeah, I love it because you own it, Candice, and you're exactly on it, Kelsey, because can y'all hear me clearly?
Yes,
Am I
we
going
can
in and
hear.
out?
Can y'all hear? Yeah.
I can hear.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that 9-year is very, very indicative of kind of everything that you just said. But even astrologically, we're dealing with the energy of Neptune. All right. And also the Neptunian energy with the North Node in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo. And then even with Saturn in Pisces, right? Neptune in Pisces, and all these things are about to shift into Aries, which is going to bring the ending of a lot of cycles, all right? And it's going to start some new ones. So all these things are happening in 2025. And I've been telling even if we look back over the past 7 or 9 years, if we do a 7 or 9 year look back as we kind of measure these cycles that we've experienced, a lot of people are ending and beginning new chapters in relation to 7 and 9 year periods. So that is very indicative of kind of the cycles of Jupiter, and also kind of dealing with the cycles of also Saturn. So these cycles of memory, right? Pisces is the subconscious. You know, Capricorn, which is Saturn rules Capricorn, which is dealing with basically like how we remember things, which is like father time, how we accumulate things over time, which is also the midheaven, right? Where our social and our legacy is. So this is why a lot of people are focusing on legacy right now. You know what I mean? So all that's going to be very because it's a beautiful time to create your dreams, right? And make your dreams a reality. And it can also be a very powerful time for us to get lost in that. So as we're in this 9-year with this all this Piscean energy, it can be very easy for people to disembody right now and want to disengage. So it can bring a lot of escapism. And then when you're talking about opening up the Akashic to people who are not ready for those memories to come flooding in, is very indicative of the energy of Aquarius, right? It's like in the scripture when it said, go see the man in the house with water, the man that is in the house of burning water. So as we're shifting into the age of information, which is the age of Aquarius, and now we're moving out of one Kali Yuga. This is why you keep hearing Trump saying that we're in the golden age. Like, so a lot of these people know what's going on when it comes to the astrological times, and that's why we're seeing the financial shifts and everything that we're witnessing as the North and the South nodes just came out of Aries and Libra, right? Which was like love and war and peace, right? So most of the time when Neptune moves into Aries, we start to witness a lot of these things come to fruition. So because even with the Akashic record readings, what I witness, because I do them as well, and what I witness is people are having access to their own memories. And that access is like frightening some people, and they don't know what to do with it, because it's like that awakening, that great awakening with that Aquarian energy. People are no longer, it's like there's no choice anymore. Like in the Matrix, Red or Blue player, like it's like it right now, it's like the cosmos saying, here, take both. Like you gonna need both right now, right? So that's why that corporate structure, right? That balance between the material and the physical, right? Matter and spirit, right? It's the whole integration.
I didn't even know Sensei did Akashic Records as well. So we have two Akashic Records. Kelsey accessed my Akashic Records years ago. But go ahead, Kelsey. He mentioned the 7 too.
Oh, I am just living for everything, because I mean, you said so much, and that's everything that I've been tapping into right now as well. Like you said, legacy vibes. I've been tapping into some major like revolution and revolutionary energy, like majorly. Everything you're talking about, like as far as chapters and even just the structure of money. I've been tapping into just like getting back to like a barter and trade type system. Not to say like, I was joking with my husband, and I was talking about the barter and trade thing, and I said, don't worry, I'm not going to collapse the currency. And he was like, Kelsey, I'm not worried about that at all. And I'm thinking, if you only knew, you should be worried, because I was like, but it's not so much that, but just to offset all this shit that's going on, and just like getting back to the community, and even just the accessibility. Like somebody really, I'll be honest with you, like I've been in the online space so long just because of COVID and just having small children, that it really got me out of touch with reality a little bit, and out of touch with, kind of like the real world. And like, because I hadn't, I just been in the online space and doing online sessions, but I kind of been getting back into the community lately. And, I've been working with this crystal shop owner, and she was talking about how, like healing is really not accessible to a lot of people. And that really, like did something for me, because I was like, I want to continue to activate other people that are just a revolution within themselves, and that are going to help a ton of people. So like doing that in the online space, but then doing as much just, like free or low cost things in my community, just for the ripple effect, and just something bigger than the ripple effect, just change. I don't know, y'all, just change something, just because something gotta change.
Hi, Deborah. Deborah just jumped in. I just want to say, hey, we're just flowing with it on this 3 of Diamonds day, so you can get in where you fit in. Go ahead. I don't know if you're here yet, but
hi, happy birthday.
Thank you. So we're flowing, but just since Lyric is the only one not here yet, I just want to say Kelsey and Sensei, we were just talking about how Akashic Records. I think that I also just heard something where they were talking about community, which is why I have Zitty here. So I don't know if you heard anything yet, Zitty, or if you're still dealing with baby Zuri, but y'all, I just want this to flow. Since we were already kind of talking about a few things, Zitty, if you want to kind of chime in now that baby is kind of chilling.
Yes, yes, yes. No, I love all of this. I love all of this. And I'm like a nerd through and through. I want to know all the things about all the things. And there's this quote from Albert Einstein that I love where he says there are only two types of people in the world, those who see everything as a miracle and those who see nothing as a miracle. And so it from the like divine law perspective, it's like the laws of man are crumbling and divine law is the only thing that'll be sustained. And so there are people who know that, like, sorry, what the prophecies say, like in the Bible about this time, because we are in a season where like empires are crumbling. So that revolutionary feeling that you're having, it lines up with history. Where like this is the season where empires last something like 250 years or something. And we're at that place where revolution is bound to take shape. And it's like the healers and the light workers among us who are going to be the ones who dictate what the new earth and the new world is going to look like. And it's like even timelines are collapsing where, you mentioned in your work, are y'all distracted by her? She's like beating on things. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna keep going until you tell me to stop, Candice. So you mentioned, Kelsey, how in the work that you're doing, things can happen in an instant. That's another thing is like those of us who have really, really been dedicated in the healing space where, Western medicine or traditional ways have in the past taken a long time. Things are collapsing where things are happening very fast, but it is in accordance to the faith or the belief that the people have because we're all on a different place on the continuum of healing, right? And it really is more this again is geometry. So I see things in shape. So when I get downloads, it's like understanding the soul mate journeys that we have are like a double helix. That's like DNA, that's a pattern that's replicated in relationships. It's replicated in lots of different places. Even like the four seasons, that again is a pattern where the human process is like fall 2024. So many people said that they were shedding like relationships. People are falling out. People are getting divorced after 40 years. Like it's all these towers that are happening because relationally we've been out of balance with Mother Nature. And when we start getting in balance with what the natural order of things really is, shedding of relationships, shedding of old ways, shedding of the old is just a natural part of that cycle. But we get to pick now whether we want to align with divine law, which, that shifts into the age of Aquarius, which Sensei mentioned. The age of Pisces was right before. So everything was emotion driven, which is why it was so easy for people to be manipulated. But now that we're in the age of Aquarius, which is what I know, logic is the winner. So it's like the year of the underdog, the year of truth, where we're going to see a shift in 2025, unlike anything we've seen in our lifetime. And we get to create what the new world is going to be for Zuris and the other ones. So anyway, I hope that makes sense too. I'm muting now.
Nah, you absolutely on point with that. Especially with when you talked about the aspects of us having to choose, right? And when people are feeling like they're forced into a situation, we're witnessing that now in the workplace, right? And it's thrusting a lot of people into their futures. And for a lot of people, it don't feel good. But see, when you deal with the Plutarian energy and you match that with the Aquarian, it's like, I always give Pluto like this SpongeBob energy, right? Me and Vontae used to do those lives on Clubhouse, and we used to always be like, Pluto, that energy of like 4 years later. You get what I'm saying? Like, you've been saying you don't like this job, you tired of the marriage. See, these are the breakups. This is what we're witnessing. So people think a breakup is just about something physical or somebody that they've been with. A breakup can be any routine. See, this the South Node in Virgo. Any routine that is not serving your higher purpose, North Node in Pisces, right? So if that routine is not matching, if your everyday routines are not matching the vibration of your heart, right? This is the Leo energy that was activated when we had a Kazemi last year, right? When Venus was in the middle of the sun. This was happening during a Leo season. So this opened up the heart chakra portals. All right. So we've been going through chakra activations over these past few moon transits, especially coming into that when we had the double new moon in December, opening up the portal into this North Node and Pisces energy that activated the dark moon Lilith energy. So the shadow side of the feminine energy, right? Awakening, right? The chaotic energy. You seeing women rebel. You seeing women walk into their sexual power. You seeing women own themselves, and you seeing women you hearing them say that they don't need a man because they basically saying on the surface level, I birth you boys, we birth y'all. You get what I'm saying? Like, so how can we need something that we birth? But when you deal with the rebirthing of the masculine principle, this is what we've been experiencing, and that's not privy or none of us are not devoid of the masculine principle. So, like, beyond our physical aspects of what that means, I just like to equate it to an aspect of all the things that we've been finding ourselves doing, and not being able to just be. See, the feminine principle is about rest. It's about, I know I'm good where I'm at. I'm at home. I'm good here, right? So the rest versus stress, right? All these different aspects of being able to honor the nervous system. And then when you bring in COVID over the last 4 years, when you bring in what happened in 2020 all the way to 2022, the great conjunction that happened in 2020 on the 4th of July, right? All these things have been a buildup. So it birthed the new healers. They forced people out of the workplace. People started to be more mindful of what they ate, mindful of what they put in their bodies. People started to buy more herbs. It was more people that actually acclimated to herbs and holistic healing than people actually began to lean on the system. But they ain't gonna talk about that number because the mass awakening, that Virgo energy is the kitchen witch, right? So now people are understanding that their food is their medicine. So this is the health craze, this is the health kick, this is the vegan kick, right? We watch the whole thing just kick in. And of course, the government, they got to come in with their whole thing, and that's the Uranus and Taurus energy. Watch as we integrate technology with food. Taurus is the kitchen, Taurus is the chef. We're integrating technology with food. A lot of kitchens converted over their ovens to like a convection oven. You get what I'm saying? Like, a lot of things are coming out quicker now, right? You was even able to pull up during COVID and get a margarita. You weren't always able to do that. You can pull up to a restaurant and get some liquor. You get what I'm saying? Like, because the comfort zones of people. So technology is acclimating us to be more comfortable. Now, that could be a prison for a lot of people, or it could be a place of liberation. So I just say, in this age of information, let technology be your friend, because if I have something that can do all the work for me and I don't have to always be there, I got more time to be outside creating. People feel like they got more time to sleep. So the inertia of the system, the stagnant energy of the system, this is going to deal with the chakras and how the moving. I've been saying we've been moving into the upper room. We've been going beyond the heart chakra. This is why Jesus said, through me is the way. Jesus represents the heart chakra, which is also an aspect of how Jupiter pushes the energy of Leo, which is the energy of the sun. So it's a relationship of how Jupiter expands our consciousness as we grow. And Jupiter ruling the highest stage of fire, which is Sagittarius, and the ancient ruler of Pisces, right? So it's where we're refined in spirit. So now it's about faith without sight. That's what we're dealing with right now. The sight is all with the mind. That's the masculine. It wants to know what's coming next. What I gotta do, how I gotta do it. You get what I'm saying? So that feminine principle is not safe to create when the masculinity is so chaotic and all over the place. So this is why the feminine energy is becoming more powerful, becoming more at home, because women are becoming more at rest, right? So this is the awakening that we're experiencing. And I like to say, when you deal with the feminine principle, when women start to heal, nations are reborn. So that masculine principle has been rebirthed for a lot of people on a lot of different levels. And people's relationship with this materialistic realm has been very, I would say, shaky. And this is how we've been dealing with the suicide rate has been going up. We watched the teenagers between 17 and 25. That's the Pluto in Aquarius, all right, and that Pluto in Capricorn generation. So those generational children are coming back with a lot of their own authority. They came back to raise the parents almost. So this is why we're watching a lot of the rebelling against parenting as well. And I'm gonna add this before I close my mic. Pluto in Aquarius also brings in exile. So it's humanitarian and it's being with people and your awkwardness and your weirdness. But also when you look back on the age of Aquarius in these ancient ages, when you track these times, people would get exiled from groups, from civilizations, right? So this is what a great divide is coming into play. And that's why we're witnessing this. And the Mayans talked about it. This will be the time of great sorrow, all these different things, because the ending of one cycle brings grief. So on the interpersonal level, with the 9-year and the ending of cycles, people are going through grief. People are going through sadness, the whole spectrum of emotions, because that comes with this awakening. We like to call it ascension symptoms, but when it's all said and done, nobody can ever dictate why you feel the way you feel. So that's where we come into play, right? To help people understand that what you're going through is natural. It's a cycle, right? I like to say we're bringing heaven to earth. But in this reality, once again, information is so rampant where people can hear something life-changing and go right to the next podcast, right? So people are drowning in information while they're starving for wisdom. I mean, with that.
And that's why I feel like, and Sensei, you describe so many things, just a lot of, most of y'all on here know how much I've been grinding like a maniac. Lyric is on and off, but she's been here through this past 4 years. But I also have been able to start building systems as I'm going into this 22-4 year that Sensei helped me break down, where it's time to build systems where I can start having more time for my creativity and just to be in my feminine. And oh my gosh, I literally hired an assistant in the Philippines. Thank God Kelsey was around. When I was talking about how I'm gonna be able to afford it one day, I'm gonna hire you on retainer. I'm gonna have you every month, and then I'm gonna get an assistant. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, and she's amazing, so grateful. But I say all that to say that things are moving so fast, like creatively with the age of Aquarius, that at one point we were using Canva. I'm at work and I work from home. And so I'm at she's building out just different things she's working on me for on Canva. And I'm like, oh my God, ChatGPT just keeps getting crazier and crazier by the day. So to Sensei's point, some people are, I'm using this time to build up systems. I'm using AI and all these things to work for me so that I could be chilling somewhere. I'm trying to start training the brand voice for Co-Create with Candice. We're building her out so that, and also people, what did you say? You said people are starving for knowledge. It's like they're just consuming. And so, yeah, it's just a lot. But I want to say really quick, because Deborah, you jumped in, you're here now. So since everybody's here, Lyric is kind of popping in and out, but I just want to officially introduce everyone. I know that Deborah and Sensei know each other. And then, so I'll just say, Deborah, I met through Cardology, studying the cards online. I have never met Sensei, Kelsey, or Deborah in person, but they are my soul family. I know that you guys are, because it's always just been this ever since. Hold on, there goes Lyric. So Lyric came in at the right time, because even Lyric, I have never met Lyric in person, but she is also part of my soul family. And so I guess I really wrote down, I'm like, since we're all here now, and I could just say this really quick, and then I'm going to open it back up, because I really just want to highlight you guys. There are about 2 other people who I initially invited to this that could not be here. However, I got this idea. I'm like, I really want to highlight people who I want to put on this platform. I really do feel like we're shifting into what the new celebrity should be, and then I also just want to mention, since I'm around my Cardology family, I can say this in a free space and be funny, and you guys will get it, that I feel like kind of like the new Diddy, no Diddy, but Diddy for real, because I'm the 3 of diamonds, and Deborah helped me kind of put a few things together with why I have always felt just drawn to connecting people, and you know what I mean? Just putting together things, and, oh, you guys would be good here. And I mean, so many different things with the 2 of diamonds, but I say that to say that I feel like I am helping express the higher qualities of the 3 of diamonds, and how Diddy kind of was a mogul. You can't deny it. I'm someone who worked at Rocawear for years, and I was in the apparel business back then with Jay-Z and all them in New York. You know what I mean? It just was a different time. However, times have shifted, and just curating things, putting people together, everybody here, you guys are just all amazing and powerful and humble, and you guys deserve to be the celebrities. You guys deserve to be the millionaires, because each and every one of you guys are healing and inspiring people in all different levels. So really quick, I'm just going to run through. Kelsey has tapped into my Akashic Records when I was dealing with some crazy lessons in my life a few years ago. She tapped in. And when I tell you, I thought God had sent me my soulmate because I had been manifesting my husband for years and years. When I came back to Greensboro, North Carolina, after 20 years or so, I just have to mention Greensboro, North Carolina has 336 area code, and that is my 336 life path. And this year, I'm just looking at just so many things coming like around full circle. But I don't want to go off too much in a tangent. But Kelsey kind of tapped into my Akashic Records when I came back here. Didn't know I was going to have to go through so many lessons while I was still living in my sixth energy of my 33-6, which Sensei is helping me kind of work around and get more clear about. But she was able to go in and see like, oh my God, like in a past life, he was a king. And I'll share a bit, but I'm actually going to upload a clip of like some of the messages that you sent me onto your page on my site. But like she went deep, like he did some crazy stuff to me in a past life. And like we have some stuff to come up here and clean up. And I feel like in this life, he was still playing around. He had a good chance to kind of like make it right. He didn't, but the things that she told me and the way that I met you, it just was like, oh my God, like you don't even know me. You know what I mean? For the people that know Cardology, she's a 4 of clubs. So clearly you guys know 4 of clubs. You know what I mean? She's mutual Venus. She's psychic. She's amazing. She doesn't even know anything about the cards. But her and Sensei were just connecting about Akashic Records and all the things. But I'll just say that. So I met Kelsey there. I met Madam Midheaven. That's so funny. I texted you, Lyric, right as Sensei said the word Midheaven out of his mouth when he was talking about astrology. So that was like divine timing. But I connected with Lyric. She's a 4 diamond. She's my moon in past life and Cardology and all the things. And she's just amazing. Lyric is like wise beyond her years. She's a scientist. She while I'm calling her, you know, getting through like the worst times of my life, she's like sending me references for jobs and we're talking about the cards and she's just so many things. And then same thing with Deborah. So I was studying the cards in a group under one of my mentors when I met Lyric. And then from that same mentor is when I connected with Deborah. And so, of course, me and Deborah have all these different connections because she's a 10 of diamonds, just like my dad. I love my dad. So we have like a mutual Venus connection there. She's just a genius. She's a reverend. We met her. Ironically, I met her. I said we. Oh, my God, y'all. This is my Gemini rising talking about we met her.
Oh, you and me.
It's like, wait. But yeah, so I met Deborah and it was like, we just connected and like, she has taught me through some crazy times. Like, but I'm telling y'all I needed people like you guys who spoke my language through these times because the people who I was around, they thought I was nuts, you know what I mean? Or just too much or emotional. And, you know, people who said that they study astrology, who I had put onto the cards. I'm like, dude, you can see that I'm in Saturn, but you're going to jump ship on me. No, you're not it. I need some people who really understand this stuff. And lastly, I'll just mention Zitty, you know, soul sister connection. She actually lives in Greensboro, North Carolina with me. We connected through someone that I went to college together with, and she's amazing. So many different community endeavors that she wants to embark on. But like, also, I'm like, wait a second, I'm calculating her birthday one day, the other day. And I'm like, wait, she's a master number 11 life path too. So like, that's the last thing that wait, are you, Lyric?
Yeah, I'm 11 life path.
What's your life path, Deb?
I'm a 1.
Okay. We got some powerful.
We got a lot.
Yeah.
In here.
I'm an 11 too.
Sensei, you're an 11?
Y'all, I really curated some power. Y'all, I'm so honored.
Wow.
Thank you so much for showing
What
up.
about you, Kelsey?
Girl, I don't even know. I think maybe a 4, but I don't even remember.
When's your birthday?
August 22nd.
What year?
What year?
1990.
Well, automatically you got the you're gonna have that 22, that master number 22, and you are life path 4.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Me and Candice, we love 22.
Yep, that 22nd birthday, that gives you that master number 22, which the master builder but that's something you struggle with, right? Like being with groups and like not getting credit for certain things, and so always having to be present for certain things that are not always about you, but working with people on projects. And so you're a master builder, but you bring your individuality, and this can bring somebody that can deal with a workaholic. All right, so you can be dealing with a lot of things from work to home. You can bring in a lot of men with mother issues, right? Like, so it can bring in a lot of different experiences about you detaching, and being your own individual and not getting so connected to certain things that are not reflective of your individuality or your freedom.
So I didn't know we were going there, but I just want to say I'm glad, Kelsey, because I'm a 22. I'm learning about the 22-4 because as of my birthday, I'm going into this. This is the energy that I'm stepping into. So I'm excited to learn about all this with y'all.
I was going to say too, really quick. Did you say Kelsey was the 4 of clubs? Okay, so she's your transformation card too.
That part too. And look at all, and in my year, I'm telling y'all, I'm so grateful. I love it. It's all just so divine. And y'all, that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to highlight, it's a 3 diamond day. I don't know what I be trying to plan love for any. Can you guys still hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you. It was just going in and out, but I thought it was my internet because it kicked me off earlier.
Oh, yeah. And y'all, this is the first time that I'm experimenting with doing this. So the technology of things might be a little bit wonky, but really quick, my cardology people, because I want to show Kelsey and Zitty. I don't think I've talked. We were on first and we were talking and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking in the cards because that's the language that I feel most comfortable with. Astrology was my first love, but then cardology is the one that it's just my brain loves. So this year, I don't know if you guys know what year we're in, or if you could even mention what the energy of a 3 of diamonds day is, or I don't even know, y'all. I think it's a 3 of diamonds day. Is that why I'm kind of scattered and things are happening? Or anything that you guys kind of want to share about cardology?
I mean, yeah, three energy is not very settled. It has to have other supporting energies around it to keep it, kind of
I
settled
needed
and
y'all. So I
on
needed
the,
Kind
y'all.
of stable.
I
yeah,
need.
that's where us 4s come in,
I know.
Yeah.
kind of give you
Definitely.
some stability and support, or support beams, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You talking, Deborah? Oh, I didn't know Deborah was saying something. Well,
Oh, I'm
y'all.
sorry, Deb.
Oh no, I didn't know. Her mic.
Oh no, I'm sorry. My son, my mic was off. My son was asking me a question. So the 3 of diamonds is the creative genius. So this is the creative expression of values. It's often comes down extremely uninhibited because there's a 6 of hearts that challenges it, and 6 of hearts sits in Mars. So it's kind of like a real, they really want to balance out. It's very Libra energy, so they're really trying to balance these energies out. But I think that they're the visionary communicator. Like they can communicate, visionary stuff because that King of Diamonds sits. Is their cosmic lesson. So they're always it's like a super Saturn. So they're always really challenged to, they're the visionary. So they're always challenged to express that vision that they're seeing. So Candice says, she's often looked at like she's crazy, but because it's a futuristic energy, it's stuff that they can see that has to be balanced out in the now, The 3 of diamonds, you have to be flexible and adaptable, and that's the 5 of spades, which is her planetary ruler. It's interesting too, Candice, because you have the 5 of spades as your long range this year, and you have the King of Diamonds as your Pluto.
Oh,
so
gosh.
This is a soul level mastery exam, and you have to pass this exam. I know you're
right?
always doing so much. It's 3 of diamonds is multi-talented, so they're doing multiple things at one time, and they excel in multiple areas. So that it could be, artistic. It's just a very creative energy. It can also be intellectual, and it's very entrepreneurial. But the issue is that they have to take the time to take care of themselves. So oftentimes I'll hear her saying, I'm sorry, I'm just so tired, I'm so busy. I'm sorry, I'm just so tired, I'm so busy. And I'm like, girl, take the time to rest and relax and restore, especially today, because I also dabble in the gene keys, and it's the 3, which is through the eyes of a child. So it reminds us to be more in the now and with nature and playful energy. So, but I just thought that was really interesting. You're definitely trailblazing energy. And it has a magnetic way with its words. I think that the frustration for the 3 of diamonds is when they really know what they're talking about and they can't express it creatively because friends or family, or mainly family, really don't understand how they communicate, because they have an Ace of Spades and Mercury, which is extremely mystical. It's the whole it's the whole card system. It's the mysteries that we all want to know. We all want to find out about the universe, right? So, yeah, I just thought that was really cool. You're going to be making more changes or getting more comfortable making those changes. I'd say, like, you know, with your flexibility and really kind of going out there, because I know you've kind of been really stuck in, but this is the year that you're going to be like really tested to do your cosmic lesson, which is to become that business owner using that creative visionary, which is why you started out doing this today, right? It's getting your business together and getting these people together, and then being able to oversee all of these people, right? And it's interesting because your environment card is the 4 of Clubs.
Kelsey!
Which is your transformation. So the environment is kind of like the angel that walks with you throughout the whole entire year. So
Kelsey is going to be my angel, walk with me in the entire year, aren't you?
Whenever she was talking about the whole like exams thing, I'm like, girl, I got you, girl. We gonna pass these exams, sis. We got this.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'll just end here with the result, which is the King of Clubs. And it's really, Candice, you have such an amazing way to, you know, your voice really needs to be heard. You have a beautiful voice, by the way. And it's really trusting the knowledge that's coming from the Akashic Records. It's coming from a deeper understanding. It's not coming from your intellectual knowledge. But what happens is that we become afraid because we might have a lot of intellectual knowledge, but we're not pairing that with the heart, which is where we are, which is what Sensei was saying. We're going beyond the heart, right? And so when you're pairing this third eye crown with the throat, but you're in the heart, and the information just flows from the Akashic Records. So you're going to be rewarded with trusting that the information and everything you need to know is within you.
Wow. Y'all, I'm telling you, I got to be crazy to try to put this together while I got so much going on at work, but it clearly was meant to be. What'd you say, Sensei?
I got to
But
add
you're
to
not,
that.
though. It kind of oh, go ahead, Sensei.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead, Lyric. I'm going to yield to you, but I'm going to add to that when you're done.
I was just gonna say a small comment. It kind of makes sense to me, you know, with us looking at this as a 9-year, like a Sagittarius year, going into a 10-year into Capricorn, like energy, you know, and so all the connections and things like that you're making over the, you know, interwebs and all of that type of stuff, you know, still getting a lot of Sagittarian energy and the things that you're talking about and things that you're preparing for and building, right? Like Deborah was saying, and going into that 10 or Capricorn energy, this is definitely setting up, you know, that your businesses and reputation to the world. So I just was piggybacking off of Deborah, and you know, it makes a lot of sense to me.
I'll just add in there too that she's displacing the 9 of Diamonds. So the 9 of Diamonds is a major completion and a major cycle, which in Gene Keys we just ended with the 42, which is a major completion.
Mm.
So coming into the third gene key is the new beginning, and major completions take time, right? And in the beginning, it can be scattered and chaotic because that's the gene key 3. It's chaos. But there's order in chaos because that's how creation was created. This is the point of completion in your life. So you're preparing to begin a total new cycle. And as we know, 9s are hard to to be in the now with, but it's necessary. It's really necessary because, Candice, what you're trying to do here and what you're offering is, a coming together of like-minded people that really are ready to be of service. And so because you're ready to be of service, you're gathering, this is the 50 in Gene Keys, which is my culture, a group of people that are ready for service. So that's like you're really embarking on what you've really come here to do. And yeah, I love you, and I really honor you for that. The King of Diamonds is displacing the 8 of Hearts, 7 of Spades. So you're going to be tested, really tested, that you really learn how to just trust this process and allow yourself to come into this heart space opening, as well as offering or gathering the people that have the services like spiritual services or any healing modalities, because that's the 8 of Hearts. It's Reiki, it's everything that we're offering here. So it's really just having faith and trusting that this spiritual business that can heal people and serve people, this is what you're doing. You're becoming that visionary or that leader that is wanting to start this so that we can all step into our mission and serve. So thank you, and happy birthday, girl. You're 43.
Yes, happy birthday. Happy soul return.
Happy birthday.
Y'all, I appreciate y'all so much. I just want all of y'all to connect with each other. Like, I don't know where this is leading, where this is going, but, I just know that this was just a time that I feel like I said, the world just needs us to talk about this kind of stuff. I just want to say really quick, Sensei, I specifically feel like relationships, that's going to be the thing that you guys will see that I'm working on next going forward. You guys will see as I have time and as I kind of everything kind of starts coming together under Co-Create Enterprises, which is what I finally was able to kind of set up. We have the Co-Create with Candice, which obviously there's a ring to it. I created it years ago, but I didn't realize it was really going to be part of my brand. Like, I've always been a creator, but I legit co-created this stuff with God, with me, with my higher self. And just seeing all that come together is why I think I felt confident enough to reach out and be like, all right, y'all, let's really start doing this so that we can start creating together. So some things that I'll probably be creating, Kelsey and I have talked about creating a playlist of oh my goodness, so a few things, but the playlist, I don't know if I want to mention it right now. If you want to, you can, Kelsey, at the end, but mainly the Akashic Records is what I want to mention right now. I'm going to create an offer where people can go into the Akashic Records, have a question. We'll set it up and structure it. I'm actually going to put that on the website this weekend, and I would love for all of you guys to check it out. I kind of want to make a way where all of you guys can connect, even if it's something that I gift you guys, like a service or a mini session with each of you guys, just for being here for me tonight, is something that I would love to do. Deborah and I have talked about over and over. I mean, so many different things, but I think the main thing with Deborah, which she's amazing for, is just I want to put her out there as a relationship reading. Not only, is she aware of Akashic Records and things like that, but composite cards and what your energy, two energies combined, what that does. Lyric is just Lyric is amazing with the cards. Lyric, I don't even know how. I mean, you've also got your podcast, cards, intuitive, astrology, life coaching, just everything. Zitty is just amazing. Zitty is a community leader in Greensboro, but like we're connecting on just understanding just community, you know what I mean? Helping build communities of like-minded people, tiny home communities, gardening. And she's actually in North Carolina with me. So I'm grinding so I can get my freedom. But then Sensei, you know what I mean? Just really being an example to people who might not know about this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? That's really what I want to start branching out, is like not going after people who kind of already aware of stuff like this, but just really, being an example. Like it doesn't have to be all woo woo and scary. No, you can read the Bible and, you know what I mean, learn about astrology, and that's teaching you about you. And so I don't know, y'all, I don't want to keep you guys here all night on this day where we're supposed to be playing, but if anybody wants to say anything, I'm going to be in contact with you guys. We're going to be building and creating.
Yeah, I got to jump here. But I'm excited to work with you all and chat more. I know, me and Deborah, we used to hit it off a long, I guess what, few years, but we
I'm
used to hit
so
it off
happy to
quite a
see
bit.
you.
Sensei, I know we met on
Mhm.
Clubhouse and we would go back and forth whenever we were in the common rooms and stuff like that. So but I'm excited to work with the rest of you two ladies as well. I know it's our first time meeting and everything, but I think great things are happening here and great things are going to continue to happen and build. So I'm really excited about it all.
Oh, lastly, real quick, y'all know how the whole pop the balloon stuff is going on? I'm like, I'm gonna need my panel of experts at my relationship experts there, just all the things,
Yeah.
because we're gonna create like some mix where we're really matching people off of compatibility, not just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know we talked about that too, Candice, some time back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to get that together and whatnot.
We're gonna
So,
do it.
and I often think about that too, but I was like, well, maybe she, decided
I'm
to do
still
something
doing it.
different.
No, I had to get stable. Lyric
Yeah.
was around when I was
Yeah.
homeless and depressed and trying to find a $15
Yeah.
an hour job to save my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
She done
But
heard me
hey, we
cry
here
and
now.
all. Exactly. So I had to get the foundation built,
Yeah.
and that's what this year is about. But we're gonna do it. It definitely is coming because it's needed. Like, and I
Yeah.
can't stop thinking about it. So I got to get it out.
Most definitely. I'm excited for that. So yeah, just keep me in the loop.
I will, Lyric. And I'm gonna, when I do cut this up and edit it, you can drop if you need to, but I'm gonna make sure that
Okay.
I properly edit it, mention the podcast, and Lyric has a podcast, and I'll drop everything so that everybody can connect.
Awesome. Yes, I appreciate that. And I'm excited to connect with y'all. But I hope y'all have a great evening. I hope you have a great rest of your birthday today.
I'm gonna go
Celebrate the
chill,
whole
like
month
Deb
like I
told me
do.
to do. I am. I'm wrapping up
Hey, and that's
Thursday.
okay. Chilling is good.
For me, I need
Relax.
to.
Because as a three out, you be everywhere.
Girl.
Us fours, we be chilling.
I know.
So, it's flip flop. So I understand.
No, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
I'll
All
talk
right.
to
Well,
you
we'll chat
soon.
soon.
Okay. So y'all, I don't know if anybody wants to jump in. Zitty, like I said, I love y'all all. I'm so glad that all the notes and trying to organize my thoughts, weren't even needed because this is my soul family. But Zitty, yeah, y'all, I am getting a weird call right now. Like it's retrograde, but it's just my birthday. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's a pleasure meeting all of you. I am one of those, I've just always been an incessant studier. And I remember being a little kid and hearing like, oh, we only use like 7% of our brain. And I was like, oh, that's unacceptable. And so I just study everything, everywhere, all at once. And so Candice, I'm anything to support you for sure. And for me, I've done a lot of work in higher education, and these kids are struggling, y'all. Colleges and universities are like the biggest modern day scam because you've got these professors who will get tenured, and that's no knock. I mean, I am a professor, I'm not tenured, and that's deliberate. But what it basically has done is created this culture where people are so rigid in their understanding of reality, and they're continuing to teach models and frameworks that aren't working with the changes that are happening out here in this real world. And so I've heard a couple of people make reference to like 2020, 2021, and then the like kind of the second coming now. It's decimating higher ed. You've got some populations of students that are staying there because their parents told them to, but they're bored out of their minds. They're not stimulated or interested. And then on top of that, they're anxious and depressed. We're in a global mental health crisis. So the only ones that are going to make it to the other side are the educators who are able to, one, like think entrepreneurially and understand how to like package their skill set, but then two, connect to these younger students, and they are craving self-understanding and self-awareness. I was really lucky to be able to teach a semester-long class at UNCG here in Greensboro called Life Design, and it was for freshmen and sophomore students so that they could come to understand themselves more prior to choosing a major. And there are so many students who thought they knew what major they wanted to take based on who they were told they were. And then at the end of this 16-week course, they chose something different. And some of them dropped out of college altogether, which for me, it's all a win, you know? But because these things are created to be machines and businesses, they're thinking about retention rates and all this kind of stuff. I don't care about none of that. I care about helping these young people make sense of this world so that they can take theory in the classroom and practice it outside. Theory and practice. So the way that I would love to connect with you all is when I do things in the community virtually with classes, do panel discussions. But the way I think is I want to get to buckets of money so that I can compensate everyone for your time, because I know how valuable this skill set is now more than ever. But then make it available, sliding scale or whatever. Accessibility is definitely my jam. So I appreciate you talking about that too, Candice. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that's my thing. I like weaving people together, and I'm very much one of those public-y people. I've been on the news a bunch and all that kind of stuff. But we've got a major, major problem. And the new educators have got to be healers in real life. That's all.
So true.
What's her card?
8 of diamond, 5 of clubs.
Okay. Yeah, I was definitely hearing that kind of clubs in there.
What are you, Virgo? What's your sun sign?
You talking about Zitty?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Aquarius. So February 17th. Yeah.
Oh, I'm the 15th.
What's your rising?
Yeah.
I've been told, so I got 2 different ones, which I would love for somebody to clarify. The very first natal reading I got was Aquarius sun and then Leo moon, Leo rising. And so that has been my understanding. But then I got one recently, which I don't even remember what the most recent one says, but I would love some clarification. I feel very much Aquarian and Leo all at once.
That's funny because I'm an Aquarius sun with in the 5th house. So I really resonate with you and I understand you. And I have the 50 in my culture. So it's about community, but it's looking at the systems and the structures. So we're rebels when we want to create our own system and structure when it comes to community, when we're not in agreement with that.
That's
how
exactly
it's
right.
structured.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I have this ability to zoom out, zoom in. So I have like global networks that are keeping our fingers on the pulse of what's happening in global relations, but then all the way down to the familial, where I'm building teams that will have like mobile Montessori so we can go into homes and help them design houses.
You've got to have the 50 somewhere in your hologenetic profile, because I literally just told my friend today that it starts in the family, because I have the 50 in my culture. So it's what I'm here to do in my social structures.
That's it.
And do you have the 50?
I don't know what the 50 means, baby, but if it's what you described, I believe I do.
Yes, because I told my friend, I said, it starts with the family and it goes universal.
That's
so
right.
I said, I'm interested in where something is not working and fixing that.
That's right.
Creating that and going into the future, but bringing it back into the now, because we're Aquariuses. So we'll be talking.
Right. That's right. And this is the last thing I'm going to say, because now you got me fired up. So I also work I work really well with women who, which all of that, like the divine feminine, rearranging, balance, all of that, but specifically like women in high power positions, predominantly male dominated. So I have a certified executive leadership coach, and my PhD is in leadership studies. And so global relations, global leadership, all of that. But what works for me, which is not the ICF framework or whatever they give me, it's very customized, very personal. And what works is like getting them all the way to the granular for self, because there are a lot of people who are tasked with leading other people, but they don't know how to lead themselves. And so that's even more before the familial, like what's going on with you. But the beautiful thing is often it is just like it's questions, 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 maybe 9 months of that. And then you find this one thing that's like, and then they're in a new timeline. You see what I'm saying? It's brilliant. It's like Scooby Doo for leaders or something.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think I cut Sensei off. Did I cut you off, Sensei?
No, it's all good. You can cut me off anytime. I love your wisdom. All right, because you said a lot of dope things, and it was very dynamic. At first, I want to go back to Candice because everything that you spoke to about Candice was very significant of her chart, and I was gonna speak to that tonight for you, all right, for your
Mm-hmm.
birthday and all that good stuff. And it was just so beautiful because you know, Dev just she just threw an alley oop right there. You know what I'm saying? Because everything she talked about, your North Node is in Leo right now. All right, it's progressed into a Leo. All
Mm,
right, and it's in the fourth house, the house of
no
Cancer.
red.
So there's your initiation. There's the matters of your heart. There's you taking center stage, right? Your ascendant has progressed into Cancer. So this is giving you a cardinal cross in your chart, right? So this is all the things that are dealing with women and motherhood and nonprofits and bringing that nurturing aspect of you to the public, right? Your midhaven is in Pisces. There's the group and the community and everything that she talked about that you're building. Your son has progressed into Gemini in the 12th house, the house of Pisces, and it's in a
Mm-hmm.
Sagittarius degree. So there's the teaching, there's the community, there's the bringing it all together. Your Jupiter
Mm-hmm.
has progressed into Sagittarius, right? And this is inside of the seventh house, the house of relationships, the house of everything you said you just wanted to do. And by you being in that 22-4 year, it is a year to recreate yourself. It is your awakening, right? That it is now what you're building. The foundation that you
Mm-hmm.
build now will take you into change next year, which is the year of the five. That's going to build the family dynamic and everything that you want to do as the re-nurturing, as the rebirthing of yourself happens as you step into the 6th. And then the 7 year will be about your spiritual prowess and your spiritual practices and isolation and solitude. Then the 8 is going to be your power year, and then you'll be into a 9, right? So these next like 5 years, now based off of some of these placements, especially with your Pluto progressing into Sagittarius in the 6th house, right? It's in the 7th degree. So that's that Libra degree, right? So that progression with that Pluto there, your everyday routines now, if you trust the vision, you can take a quantum leap into your future. You get what I'm saying? So you can
Damn.
you can make something happen now over the next 2 years that it might would have took you 5 to 6 years. It's everything. It's that 9 of diamonds. You feel what I'm saying? So that 3 of diamonds, right? That creativity, that combination of mind, body, and spirit, right? It's the embodiment of your new consciousness, the rebirthing of the hero. See, that's the Leo coming out. So it's a time to show your face. It's a time to be out there. It's a time to
Mm-hmm.
show your creativity. It's a time to trust what you put out there. It's a time to just put it out there and let it work, right? So that's like letting things percolate in the cosmic womb, right? You're not attached to it. You just did it because your heart is in it. I'm not looking for a certain outcome. If it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. I know I did what I came to do. I know I expressed myself. I know my
Mm-hmm.
creativity was on display. I know I showed the aspect of how I know how to unify, how I know how to show up as my authentic version of myself type shit. And I can do it in a nurturing, loving way. Right? So all lessons, like taking all those lessons that you learned over these past like 3-4 years, right, and coming into that culmination of the awakening, which is going to be that 4 energy, and coming into that also that'll be that 4 clubs awakening now, like taking dominion over your mind, right?
Mm.
Really, like even now that embodies the aspects of the spirit and the mind and the body when it comes together with that 3 of diamonds. So now
Mm-hmm.
you can solidify yourself in that diamond field, because you trust yourself on a spiritual level. And with that Gemini energy progressing into the sun in the 12th house, you gathered enough information at this point. You ain't got to keep gathering now. It's time to stop gathering so much and just trust what you know and just put it out there and know. See, that's the mundane coming to the spiritual. And as the
Mm-hmm.
Gemini sun sign in the 7th house, the Jack of Diamonds, all that good shit, you get what I'm saying? Like, honoring
Mm-hmm.
the field of receptivity and knowing that no matter what you don't know shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
right? So that's the knowing of Aquarius. I always tell Aquarius is right, which is back to the beloved. You got one more sign to go, right? So Aquarius, that
Mm-hmm.
knowing always leads to some undoing, and that could be. See, it's a mental health field. Four, right? The 22-4 energy is a mental health number. So being able to detach from thought. So that's why they just spoke very Aquarian by dealing with the abstract mind. This is why Mercury exalts in Uranus. Being able to bring a thought, because if you think you do not know, Mercury, I think, Gemini, I think. If you
Mm-hmm.
think you don't know. So Aquarius is removing the thinking and replacing it with knowing. And a lot of times the knowing is just surrendering to knowing that I trust myself always and always. I might not know what's gonna happen. I might not know how it's gonna happen. I don't gotta be sure of nothing, but I'm sure of me. I know me. I know how I'm gonna show up. I know what I bring. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can trust that I'm co-creating with nature. Council.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection, right? So feel it out. Trust the matters of your heart. Embrace this forward energy. Don't get so caught up in the mental constructs, because when that happens, it's just a distraction. Ignore the distractions. Know that you're grounded in this reality, right? Be near some water, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be your sanctuary right now. Like being in the kitchen could be very powerful for you right now. All right. So even dealing with the aspects of counseling and bringing in those nonprofit services like what the
Mm-hmm.
beloved said, being able to acclimate that by using government funds. That's going to have a lot to do with the descendant coming in Capricorn in that 7th house. All right now.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Can I just like say a couple things real quick? Like, okay, yes, yes, and yes, and so it all is. And the four hearts is your cosmic moon. So there goes that four energy, that Cancer energy, that family energy. It's
I
displacing
feel
the
that.
Queen of Hearts, Ten of Spades. So, I don't know. You may meet somebody. But your transformation this year is the Seven of Clubs. So there's that seven energy too. But like he said, it's like calling this in, right? Like your words are very powerful. So speak from your heart, because what you say, you're going to have to see. So that just goes right along with it. Your cosmic lesson is the King of Hearts. And your moon that's supporting all of this is the Three of Spades. So that's your creativity. That's your Gemini energy, but the spade, the evolved wisdom from that three energy too. But like, yes,
Oh
girl. And
man,
Sensei, that was
yo.
dope. I love you.
Zitty, I can't wait till you get a reading. You're gonna know all your stuff. Deborah will message
Girl.
me. She'll be like, "Do you know?" She was like, "Do you have the 20, right?" I'm like, "I don't know. Let me look up my chart." I have my chart. Gotta have my chart on speed though.
No, I want to know everything. Yeah,
We're
yeah.
gonna get you
Because
right.
I've struggled with I mean, like all of y'all, being misunderstood, outgrowing my teachers. I was like super annoying as a kid because I'm like, well, actually, So
Right.
now, now I'm a grown up. It's just every piece helps me understand myself better. So I just am grateful to listen, with you all.
No,
Yeah,
I was going to
Aquariuses
ask you
are
a couple
very
of questions.
misunderstood. Go ahead, Sensei.
Yes.
Now, I was going to ask you a couple of questions about kind of help you clarify your rising, because that's going to be very
Hmm.
dealing with your birth time. So that means you got two different birth times.
That's correct. And I don't know if we're ever going to land on that because my
What's the
parents,
what's the other rising sign that they were giving you?
I want to say Aries. I can't remember where I have it written down right now. But
What
the time
childhood
that, what was that?
what childhood injuries did you have before the age of 12?
I broke my arm in elementary school, rollerblading. I used to have like ear infections a lot. I but I would have skin stuff. So like when I would eat mangoes, I got blisters. That doesn't happen anymore. I've had all kinds of different weird rashes and stuff. That's just over the course of my life. But especially when I was younger, I would get blisters. And they said that it was a mango allergy, but I grew out of it. I don't know. But also, I think my parents be lying. And that's something I've come to learn.
Nah, it's all good. Because I'm gonna tell
Because
you
the
what happens with the
stories
birth chart.
change.
It's how
Yeah.
what happens with the birth chart sometimes, a lot of times, is the birth time is never really accurate.
Yeah.
Because who's actually calculating the time when you breathe breath into your body? All
Yeah.
right. So
And I think they
now,
don't remember too.
no, it's all good. Now I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions. All right. Now,
Yes.
when it comes to do you always get compliments on your? Now I'm gonna ask, have you ever had any lower back, or spine issues?
Yeah, so lower back for sure, especially when I was pregnant. So, like, I had a large fibroid, got pregnant with Zuri, and had surgery scheduled, and found out I was pregnant with her 2 days before surgery. So, her and the fibroid grew in there together. My sacral has been through the ringer, and I know that it's because I have been in these contained spaces, like corporate spaces, even nonprofit spaces that operate like corporate, where I haven't had the freedom to be authentic. I also grew up as an Afro Caribbean dancer. So I had, I'm trying to think if I had injuries related to that. No, I always have had a strong body. It's just my sacral stuff, my reproductive stuff, and
Okay.
then skin stuff.
All
Yeah.
right. So the skin stuff. So you got a sensitive gut.
Yes.
All right. So you would have a Leo rising. All
That's
right.
what they told me.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you why. All right. Because that put Cancer over your 12th house.
Okay.
And everything you just described, the sensitive gut, right? The things with the motherhood, the hospital, Pisces rules the hospital, the womb, right? Everything about that reflects a Cancer in the 12th house. That would also bring, when you said you broke the bones, arms, Capricorn ruling over your 6th house, the house of Virgo. The
Mm.
moment you say you like a strong body, if that ain't Capricorn ruling over the house of Virgo, I don't know what is. Like, you know, you put those two words together, strong and body, like, yeah, that's earth with earth. Like, so that could be, now that Leo rising, very adventurous, like to be the center of attention, but sometimes this can make you a little soft spoken about how you truly feel when you got Cancer over the 12th house, right?
Yeah, well, it's not likes to be the center of attention. It's I've always found myself the center of
It's
attention, and I've
automatic.
had to work to
It's
get
automatic.
comfortable with it.
You can't avoid it.
I can't
It-
avoid it.
You
So it's
gotta
been a
get
surrender thing.
comfortable. Listen, you a Leo sun
Yeah.
with Aquarius, you Aquarius sun with a Leo moon.
Yes.
The difference is your nature. So you don't like to be the center of attention around people you don't know. It feels weird.
that's
It feels awkward.
that's right.
That
And I
Leo
get
said,
attacked. I've gotten attacked, jealous girls
you a full
Me
moon
lying on
baby.
too.
me.
You are a
Uh,
full moon baby. The reason
okay.
why you get attacked that way is because naturally when you got the Leo rising, right, you're going to deal with friends and fans. This puts Aquarius in your 7th house. So automatically, because you were born during the sun and moon, that full moon makes you opposition. So this is always Aquarius and Leo is lovers and friends all day. You hear what I'm saying? Like,
Wait, you cut out. Lovers and what?
lovers and friends.
Oh.
Oh, yes, because I'm the Aquarius sun in the fifth house.
I'll
So
see.
everything she's saying, I don't want to be the center of attention. I don't like it. I want to be behind the scenes. I don't want nobody to see me at all. I
It
just want
feels
to.
weird.
It feels so
So you
weird.
can rebel
Yeah.
against it. But it's like
Yes.
You can't
naturally you're gonna
hide.
get thrust into it. But guess what? The sun is a reflection of your relationship with your father. So Leo rules the father. All right. So Aquarius sun with Leo moon, sometimes this is a jealous mother, right? Can bring in
Uh,
the mother, like this is what goes on in this house stays in this house. It's a proud mama. You get what I'm saying? Like, so that
literally.
father,
Literally.
yeah, so it brings in another dynamic when you deal with the sun sign and Aquarius, because now dealing with groups and association, peers, also dealing with help from other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because now that awkwardness is something that you got to get acclimated to, because no matter what you like, the sun sign is like what we're learning. That's how I like to view the sun in astrology. Your
Hmm.
moon is your natural nature, That's later. That's literally can be who you are. The sun
Mm-hmm.
sign, the experiences that we go through are always empowering and enriching our vitality and our perspective from that space. So that's why the sun and Jupiter is always trying to grow our perspective. So y'all perspective from the aspect of the rebel, the Aquarian, the constructive mind, like looking at what humanity needs. You get what I'm saying? Like, so Aquarians are naturally detached, naturally rebels, like tattoos and your own style, and the introvert, but the extrovert when I want to be. You get what I'm saying? Like, Aquarius is here to show us that you can be yourself. Like,
Mhm.
they ain't trying to be nobody else. So a lot of times getting caught up in that Leo aspect. Now with lovers and friends, that can bring friends and fans. So you gotta be
Lord.
able to, you gotta be aware
Yep.
of who's a friend and who's a motherfucking fan. Who's a friend, who's a fan? Because everybody might not be your friend, and some people might be posing as a friend, but they really a fan. That can
No,
bring the jealousy.
already.
That brings the
Already.
jealousy.
Yeah.
Because
hmm
All Leos, any type of Leo, especially Aquarian women, always gonna deal with jealousy. Cause wherever you
Always.
go, you're gonna. It's awkward, but no matter what, you popularity. Aquarian
Yeah.
women are popular no matter how much they try to avoid it. So you bring the Leo, somebody always gonna want something. Like it's like that
hmm
Leo wants to be the center of attention innately, right? But when it becomes the moon sign, or like when the sun is there in the fifth house, now it's an aspect of that energy can make me feel weird. I don't like nobody trying to center me. You know what
And
I'm
let me
saying?
tell
But mhm.
hmm
sorry. And I heard somebody earlier talk about like signs of ascension. When I have had too much of people, there are nights where I wake up the next morning and vomit. And I'm not talking about like hungover. I'm just talking about being around people. My sensitivity to other people's energies is like,
Cancer
I
in the
don't know
12th
how to
house.
describe it.
That's Cancer in the 12th
Hmm.
house. That's your
Yeah.
gut. So
Yeah.
what you need to
Yep.
do is
Me
just be
too.
aware when your energy shifts, and breathing is
Yeah.
gonna be critical for you. All right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
with that Leo energy there, now that puts Gemini over your house of Aquarius.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel anxiety, breath work, breathing in, deep breaths in through the nose, slowly out, that activates your vagus nerve. All right.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do with you being grounded. You can get hot headed a lot.
Yes.
Aries playing a huge part for you there. You get what I'm saying? So it could be a lot that goes on, but a lot of that can come from you kind of being a little overzealous about certain things. You get what I'm saying? So
I
taking a
do.
step back, taking a broader perspective on shit before you get into it, that'll be so regulating self-regulation is huge for you. Like very
Uh,
Me
huge for
too.
you.
Sensei, you should have been here October. No, because I've been blanking on everybody. No, but I'm balancing it out now. But it's just the rage of people encroaching, you know? And
See,
so I'm
Mars,
I'm learning how to, yeah, just hold that space for who I am, but have healthy boundaries such that I don't overextend my energy and end up crashing out.
yeah, your
Yeah.
solar plexus just took a hit when Mars was in Cancer.
Mars is in
We
Cancer.
felt it.
Yeah, it
Me
just
Yeah.
too.
and that was the spiritual, because that was like the gut. Now that activates the solar plexus, what we eat, right?
Yeah.
And then when you bring in the solar flares, the G3s, it was so many things that's been going on, that
Mm.
Yeah.
has been causing our bodies to react. So I've been doing a lot of workshops on those. I got a lot of PDFs and things like that. So yeah,
hmm
you can hit me up. I'll send them to you. I got some replays and stuff. I'll send.
I
Listen.
was so excited when Mars went into Leo today. I was like, yeehaw, because let me tell you something. I was crashing out. I was going to call Candice, like, girl, I don't even have a voice
I was
because
like,
I've been unrepressing my voice because the Aquarian energy is like, we have so much to say, especially when there's chaos in your own home. And I'm like, listen, if we all can't figure out how to work together in this own home, how the hell are you supposed to be out there like coming together in community? So like
right.
absolutely not. And just breaking it down and literally like losing my, I'm like, this Mars in Cancer, my husband's a Cancer too. So I'm like, and my Scorpio moon is 29 degrees. So I'm like, this voice is getting unrepressed. Like there's no more repressed Debbie. There's no more passive Debbie. Like it can't, it's gotta move. This energy has to move and evolve so we can come together. And I was like, I think I might have to contact Candice because I don't think I'm gonna be able to show up because my nervous system, it
Yeah.
gets real dysregulated when I have to do that. but it's necessary. And the breathing, yep, it's like taking the deep breaths and pursing your lips. But like the solar plexus is taking a hit. I have digestive issues, especially if I'm an emotional generator. So especially if I'm in an emotional wave, I have to wait to become neutral. And it's hard for me because I have that Scorpio 29 degrees. So it's like, don't talk when you're, have this heavy energy, but don't talk when you're in extreme. Wait till you're neutral. And I'm like, Scorpio 29 degrees doesn't know how to do that. So listen.
Gosh, I dated somebody. I'm just remembering somebody 29. You have Scorpio moon?
At 29 degrees?
No, not at 29. I think it's at 16
yeah.
or something.
29 degrees is a whole different ballgame.
Yeah, that's a critical degree for you. So
yes, very.
That brings in another Mars aspect. Go ahead, Candice.
Yeah, especially with that. I'm sorry. I was just going to say, especially with the moon in Libra. So I was just watching relationships, and Candice, you brought up relationships. My daughter, came back here. She's a 3 of diamonds, and the 10 of diamonds is sitting in the 3 of diamonds house for the United States plate. So I've had a lot of learning how to unrepress my voice through her unrepression, or through her seeing things needing to be balanced out, so it comes out like boom, boom, boom. And so it's an abrasive energy, but it needed to happen because things need to move and things need to balance out. So now I'm seeing that. But I also have 4 planets in Libra. I mean, my rising is Libra, but I have Mars in Libra. I have Saturn in Libra. I have Pluto in Libra. So it's all about relationships for me. Yeah. Same. So when those relationships aren't getting along, and there's things we have to look at, and people are not willing to look at them, even if it's your partner, and you think your partner should be your team and actually come together with you on those things. It can be very Scorpio 29 degrees.
Man, I appreciate you being here, because I've been feeling it. I work from home. I'm not around anyone, but I talk to clients all day, every day. So that's like a whole nother thing. I take on their energy, but I haven't been really experiencing it in relationships, because I think God finally cleared all that out of my life. I hope, knock on wood, for now. I don't know until the new cycle comes, but the chaos and all that stuff. But yeah, to your point, I was going to say, and then I'm done with, just you guys can kind of talk, but I dated someone who had Venus in Scorpio at the 29th degree. SHIT show. Oh my God.
Yeah, they're good lovers though. Real good lovers.
Well, yeah. Anywho, that was the one that Kelsey had went into the Akashic Records for me. When she dropped off, she went into the Akashic Records, and I was like, how in the world did he get? And he was a Jack of Diamond, but Sensei is the evolved Jack of Diamond. He was Jack of Diamond 2 of clubs, but also just had that 29th degree. It was a karmic lesson.
Yeah.
We had to kind of.
We had to rewrite that.
We had to rewrite it. So
we had to override those codes.
Yeah. And that's just the thing. Yeah. So I've learned that through all of y'all. But Zitty, I don't want to keep all y'all all late, but I just want Zitty, you see how that just happened? I really truly feel like when I was working in the schools with the kids, like, I was a substitute. So I can get away with asking them, when's your birthday? Not being like this weird teacher who talks about astrology every day. Like, I'm in and out. You might not never see me again, kid. But when they would be like, they love me. Like, Miss Johnson, I went home and I talked to my mom about her birthday, and you were so right. So it just gives them the sense of confidence when they really can just like see their natural gifts and abilities.
That's right. And it's empowering. We just need to get up. I was at an event at Artist Block earlier.
And that's a wrap. You guys, it took a lot for me just to push through and do this. So if you guys stuck through, if you skipped around, if you got any kind of jewels at all, I appreciate you. Let me know how you liked it. Feel free to reach out to any of the experts that you saw here today. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, share, all the things, and I'll see you soon.